Hey everybody, Jeff here and welcome to Portrait Drawing number 2. This video we're going to see how I drew this from start to finish. This one gave me a really hard time. I did struggle with this one. I started working on it. Even off camera, I couldn't leave it alone. But I do like how it turned out, and if you want to see how it was done, go ahead and watch this video. If you do like it, please leave me a comment. Let me know if you think I should change anything or speed up the video or not have these long real-time versions. Let me know, but I do like having them. I like showing you how something like this was created, to see all my mistakes and all the flaws and all the doubts and everything that goes through my head. It's all in this video, and hopefully it helps you out, and I look forward to hearing all your comments. Thanks a lot, and here we go. Alright, so I'm going to take some soft vine charcoal, and the very first thing I'm going to try and do is just lay out a composition, or where I think I want the picture to be. So I'm going to say the top of the head probably be about up here, and then I say, well, where do I want the chin to be? Maybe I'll put the chin right here. I don't want to make it too small, and I want the head to be pretty big. And now that I think about it, if I want this to be the top where his hair is, and that means his hairline will probably be about here, so the face will be this. I think that's about right. That'll leave room down here for his shirt and whatnot. So let's just go with that. At this stage, it's all just about guessing and getting a feel for everything. So if I'm going to say this is the top of the head, just going to try and draw an envelope around the picture with straight lines. And there's no measurement at this stage. I'm not measuring, I'm not trying to make sure it's all correct. This is just getting an idea of where things are going to sort of fit, if that makes any sense. So, am I happy with that being where the face is? Sure. So, as you could see, I'm just eyeballing it. You don't have to get anything exact. And if you can do this, this is like really good, because it gets something on the paper, and it just makes you subconsciously feel like something's happening here. So it looks like he's slightly, and I think this picture I'm gonna kind of draw a little line here. It's not exactly centered. Looks like he's slightly turned a little bit. So there's going to be a little bit more on the right-hand side of his face. Not much. And then I'm just looking at the picture, trying to see where his eyes are in relation to his head. I'm going to guess his... Let's see, the eyebrows. I don't know. I'm just guessing. At this point, it's just guessing. So I'll say the brows probably about here, maybe. Eyes probably about here. Again, this is all just at this stage. There's not really a lot of pressure. This is just you taking your best guess at where you think things are going to go, So, and then using your intuition too. Like, I'm trying to also just see what feels right. Does this feel right? You know, if I made the head way out here, that would feel like his head's way too big for his body. So just use your common sense, you know, when it comes to these kinds of things. Now, like the mouth, I'm just going to guess that the mouth will be somewhere in here. And again, one of the things that helped me and continues to help me is not being exact. You see, I'm not even drawing a mouth. I'm drawing a placeholder right here where I'm guessing where the mouth is going to be. You know, when I first started drawing, I was like very like, oh my God, let me measure from here to here. Let me measure from here to here. Let me make sure that, you know, and it was so left-brained that it was driving me crazy when things wouldn't pan out. You know, it would be like, oh no, I'm off, and I'd get all flustered. But try not to do that. Try to just use your best guess, your intuition, and slowly just start adding things. Slowly start adding things, some lines down, and then base your other information off of that. You know? So, you know, if you say, well, I think this is where the eyebrow's going to be, right in here. Okay, well then go with that. Okay, well if that's the eyebrow, you know, then the other one's about here. Okay. And the one thing I like about using this soft fine charcoal is that you can easily just use your finger to kind of erase it and move it around. And then I'm asking myself, okay, well if this is the eyebrow, how much space is between here and the side of the face? So I'm looking at the picture and it goes right to the edge. Right? If this is going to be the side, like, okay, well there's not that much space there. So this is going to be the edge of the head. Okay? Alright, well then, same with this side. If this is the eyebrow here, you know, then I'm trying to see how much distance is on this side. And I don't know right now. I don't know if this is correct. So I'm just going to leave that like that. I'm not going to try and put too much detail in it. And again, the eyes, I'm going to say, I'm just going to do a placeholder. I'm not trying to draw, I'm not trying to draw details. I'm just going to say this is an eye here. And this side, I'm just going to say there's going to be an eye over here. Again, not trying to focus on any real details. You know. So the nose looks a little wide, but I'm comparing it to where I think the eyes are going to be. And if that's the corners of the nose, I'm guessing, again, guessing, corners of the mouth. And I'm looking at the angle from the nostril to the mouth. And I'm guessing, I'm going to keep saying that, because I used to feel like artists don't guess, artists just know. And I'm learning, for me, I don't know. I'm just guessing, and that's okay. Okay. And then I'm also going to try and like get an idea of the shadow. So obviously the light's coming from this side of his head. And so there's a lot of shadow. Now this is me, again, this is just me trying to get just something down on the paper. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to look yet. I'm just trying to hopefully maybe see like some values, you know, like this is dark. The hair up here, a little darker up here, comes down. There's going to be an ear somewhere over here. You're not going to see the other ear because of his head tilt. He's obviously got darker chin hair here. This darker area underneath his chin. So see how loose I'm trying to be? I don't know if this is going to work out. I have no idea at this stage if this is going to turn into a complete garbage. Even as I'm filming this, I don't even know at this stage how it's going to, if it's going to be even worth sharing on my YouTube channel. But that's the challenge and the fun of it. It's learning if this is going to, you know, can I salvage this? Can I do something with this monster, this alien-looking thing here? And now if you want, you can kind of start taking some measurements. You can kind of compare, okay, well, let me see how wide is it compared to, you know, the length, you know. So I'll look at the picture at the eyebrows per se, and I'll try and compare it, you know, like it might be like the length of this is the top of the head to the bottom of the nose. Okay, well that's about right. So now what I'm going to do, I'm using my General's number 4 soft charcoal, and I think I might try and start with an eye maybe, and work around things. This is, again, I'm trying to keep it loose. I'm trying not to use a sharp point. I'm trying to just keep it loose here. So it looks like I'm just going to guess, put an eye right where I was thinking the eye would be. Let me zoom in for you. Alright, so just going to try and just replicate the shape a little bit here. You know, try and get a width of an eye. That might even be too wide. I'm not sure. Again, it's all guessing. But if I think the nose is going to be about here, again, just guessing. But if I'm saying that's the nose, I'm kind of, looks like it kind of goes not necessarily straight up, but it goes a little bit over. is where the eye starts. So I'm just going to kind of drawing an eye, or drawing a shape. And it's pretty dark, so I'm just going to try and look at like the negative space, like how much of the white of the eye do I see, and what's the shape? Okay, it looks like it draws this kind of shape. Okay. And this is all going to be dark on this side. So this is just something I don't know if it's going to work out. It's very hard to draw for me like this. I'm actually drawing upright, and I normally don't do that, but I'm trying to keep it up. I got this like easel board that I'm trying to see if it helps me draw out in front of me. So I'm just going to shade all this in. I think the eye might be a little too big, but that's all right. We'll figure that out as we go. And it might look a little different too, because I'm not really doing the glasses or anything at this point. So it looks like if I'm going to say this is the corner of his eye, you know, you could see there's some shadow up in here, which goes right up to the eyebrow. So I'm just going to try and do my best to replicate what I see. And you can see it comes down a little bit. There's this line that comes down. There's a little line underneath the eyelid right in here. Right? This comes down. Okay. And at this stage, this is all, there's no blending here. This is just all rough, just laying down rough charcoal. And we'll do the blending in a little bit. Because there's going to be a lot of erasing involved, as you'll see. Alright? So I got this shape here. This is the brow, which is going to be in shadow, which comes over to the other eyebrow over here. So I'm just laying down, using the side of my pencil and just kind of marking that in there. And just going to try and eyeball where the other eye is. I'm going to guess it's right about here maybe. Usually the rule of thumb is you got about an eyeball's distance across from each other. And then I want to try and get this, the top of the eye will be about here. And corner of the eye, kind of looking where it falls on the eyebrow, and then I kind of like gauge this angle here. So So that's probably, I don't know. Could be right. We don't know. If there's one thing I want you to take away from my drawing process, as I keep repeating myself, there's a lot of guessing. At this stage, I do not know. I don't know if it's correct. I'm guessing. But as we lay more and more down on the canvas here, as we canvas, I don't know why I said canvas. When we lay more and more down, we'll get more and more information, and then we will start to refine it even more. And we'll erase and do all kinds of things. So it's okay at this stage to not have it look that good. It's okay. Okay. In the past, when I used to do this kind of stuff, I was like, I would give up right about here. I would look at this picture and then look at the subject and say, oh, there's no way in hell this is going to turn out good. How can this turn out good? But one of the things I tell myself is you got to have confidence, and if you don't have confidence, you have to fake confidence. You have to tell yourself that you are confident. And just fake it. Give yourself permission that it's okay. Okay? Give yourself permission to just go with it. Because at this stage, we don't know. So the nose is going to be here. I'm kind of debating when I'm going to start putting in eyeglasses, and I don't think I want to necessarily worry about that yet. I want to try and make sure I can get somewhat of a proportion down. I want to make sure I capture, the width of his nose. I want to make sure that I got the mouth placement correctly. Make sure that there's enough space between the lips and where the nose starts. And of course, if you're watching this and you have any questions or comments, trust me, I'm monitoring this channel, at least at this stage, all day, every day. If you got a question, a comment, if you subscribe, I'm going to see it, and I really appreciate it. Big time. Alright. Promise we're going to make this look good. That's one of the reasons why I do this, or what I really like about drawing is how it's something that looks completely foreign. Something that looks like there's no way it can possibly turn into anything. We can turn it into something. So I'm kind of just imagining the edge of the glasses here. I don't know yet. I don't think I really want to draw the glasses in. See, even me at this stage of my art, with all these questions I have, I'm just guessing. I'm just going with the flow. So I think I might take a little blending stump here and just start blending things in a little bit. Hopefully this will kind of smooth things out a little bit. And it's going to look real dark right now because it's pushing all this into the paper. But the goal is we will then use the eraser to start pulling out highlights, smoothing things out. All in shadow. This is all in shadow here. So again, I'm just trying to convince myself, okay, it's not. Don't judge it by what you're seeing right now. Just lay down information. You know, like by me doing this, look how white this left that. Okay, well, is it really that white? Well, we know this is a little bit darker than this side. I could see that on the picture, you know, but it's, so it's just, there we go. I'm just gonna slowly indicate where the glasses are probably gonna be. I don't know, somewhere up in here. You know, I could see the glasses come below the, you know, if this is going to be the eyebrows up here, the glasses are going to be, you know, I'm looking at where the glasses fall in relation to the eyelid, you know. They're probably going to be somewhere up like that, right? They're going to come down, bridge of the nose. Looking at where it falls on the eye, probably going to be up in here. Stretches out a little bit past the head. right. So that just gives me an idea of where the glasses probably are gonna fall on the face. There's the lips. And so I also try and work like bigger down to smaller. It's almost like those of you who are older like me, back in the day when internet wasn't as fast as it was, and you went to like load a picture, it would load in these stages where it was blurry, and then it got a little bit clearer as the page loaded, until finally when the page was done loading you had a clear picture. And so a lot of times, at least with this style of drawing, I try and keep that in mind. I try and slowly refine it down. And so now I'm just going to start using my eraser and maybe erasing some things. Again, there has no detail yet. I haven't started drawing a nose or anything. Alright, so maybe what I'll try and do, I'll see, maybe, I'm asking myself, is this going to look like him? I'm looking back and forth at the picture. I can't tell if if his face is too wide, or I think the forehead's going to need, the forehead looks like it's going to probably need to come up, as it looks like this is going to be right. Let's see, I'm looking at the glasses. It looks like this is going to be something like this. It comes out a little bit here. Has this sort of angle coming up, and then the hair is probably going to start about in here. Again, this is me guessing. I will keep saying that in all my videos, at least while I still draw like this. It's okay to guess. If you didn't guess, if you sat there and put too much pressure on yourself, you'd never get anything done. Because you're going to be so concerned about, oh, it doesn't look like something, so let me stop. But I think of it like we're just guessing. So let me, let's see, what are we at? We're a little over 30 minutes at this point. Hopefully it's not too blurry. How's it look? Okay. So now I'm going to start, hopefully, maybe seeing if we can start focusing on things and pulling out shadows and values and things of that nature. So this will be the part where I'm erasing, blending. Let's see what we can do. Let's work on this eye. So there's going to be a little clear up here. I need to reshape this eye a little bit, I think. So see, I'm erasing and then I'm using my blending tool to kind of cover it back up. It almost is like a light pencil. And then I'm using my eraser, trying to get the darkness under the eyes a little bit. So he's got this little lighter mark here. It's really lighter right here. So let's just add this in here. Creates this shape. Try and think in shapes. Down. I'm not going to worry about the glasses at this point. Let me lighten this a little bit. And I can use my blending tool to kind of add more value in here. See, there's like that shape under the eye. Can't really see the pupil, but just kind of put a little indication in here. And then I'm trying to make this shape right here, the sclera of the eye. Hard to see, but there's a little lightness on this side. And then I need to kind of reshape this part of his eye. It's not such a hard edge like I have it. Kind of rounds out right here. And then I'm going to blend it in. Blend it up and around. I'm trying to keep this part white because of the light. again, I keep going over a lot of the stuff that I'm erasing because it gets, my hand will rub against it and whatnot. And again, I'm still kind of learning how to draw with this upright angle. So he's got this shape right here for the shadow of the glasses that slowly comes down and kind of blends in with this. It's a little darker right here, and it's really dark in here. It's not as dark. It's still shadow, but it's not as dark as I have it right in here. So I'm going to kind of erase this part. So I'm going back and forth in the picture, and I'm just kind of looking to see shapes, shadows, and hopefully you could see what I'm drawing and then compare it to the picture to see how my brain is working, what shape I'm looking at, you know. See, I'm making this a little too dark. So I'm just going to kind of blend it together. And I'm feeling that this is a little too hard, a little too not round enough. So I'm going by, again, it's okay to erase. It's okay to erase. And it's okay to take it slow. If something doesn't feel right, then you can just go by what you feel, go by your intuition. So I'm feeling that this is a little bit better. Does that mean it's correct? Not necessarily. But that's okay. All right. So it's still very messy. It's obviously still a work in progress, but you can see how my brain is kind of working here. So obviously this comes down for the reflection or the refraction of the glasses, you know, and then the glasses obviously come out here, they come down, okay. I certainly picked a difficult drawing or a difficult picture. glasses aren't always the easiest for me, but if you can nail the glasses, if you do a picture with glasses, they can be really fun because of the shadow that they create. You can do some pretty cool looking effects with the shadow. Okay, so this eye, here, let's see, I think it's pretty good for now. We're obviously going to be tweaking this as we go. Okay. Lighten up here. Okay. So it's all about taking things one sort of step at a time and not getting too overwhelmed by the entire drawing. You know, we're trying to just look at certain parts at a time here. If you look at everything, you're going to get just so distracted and see how much needs to be done. It's like trying to clean your room or clean a house. If you look at everything, you can get so overwhelmed and lose focus. But if you just look at one thing at a time and just slowly break it down, it doesn't become quite as daunting of a task. Okay, so it's just me trying to get an idea of where things are going to fall, where things are going to go. All right, I think I'm going to move on to some of the other spots here so we can still kind of get an overall picture. And then the finer details we'll get in a little bit. Okay, so let's just maybe move down a little bit towards the nose. So that's all shadowed in here. The nose, kind of comes down. And again, I'm just looking up at the picture and just doing little things at a time. As you can see, I'm not trying to take on too much. I'm trying to get the overall shape here. I could see that the shadow kind of goes it's kind of like all in here. There's this part of the nose is in shadow too. Right? Just kind of look where the white spot is on the nose, and then you see the wing of the nostril over here. It's going to be not in shadow. And it's okay if I shadow it right now. I'm just going to use my eraser to kind of bring it out. So let me just ignore that part and just put the shadow on and blend it in. By the way, I'm using a sketch pad. This probably isn't the best drawing paper for, you know, crazy realistic things, but it's what I have available, so that's what I'm using. So see, we're going to bring out the little wing of the nostril here, wing of the nostril here. Obviously underneath it's going to be darker. So I'm just going to add some shadow here. You can see it comes down, the shadow comes down this way. Try not to use really hard lines or anything. Let's see, that wing of the nose on this side looks like I might need to bring it out a little further. I'm trying to look at it in relation to the eye. So yeah, it probably comes out to about here. Because of the angle, it's pretty wide. And then you could see there's a line right here, a shadow, at this angle. And then I'm trying to see where does it it creates sort of like a triangle. Can you see that? Like right up in here. Sort of that angle. Where you're going to have shadow. It's going to be a shadow right here. It's going to create this little triangle area. So we don't want to forget about that. This is all going to be in shadow here. And then I'm just going to use my little blender to kind of blend everything in. Again, we will refine all these details as we go along. go. So hopefully you could see, based on this whole process, kind of how I work. And hopefully you can learn from this as well, to learn that you don't have to be rushed. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on yourself. I'm trying to constantly remind myself that there isn't any pressure. You're just doing this for fun. And hopefully you can also see, based on me talking, that my internal dialogue of what I am trying to accomplish here, to see that even I still, you know, struggle with things. I'm going to take a break here in a couple minutes. My memory card on my camera needs to be dumped. There we go. You can see we're getting somewhere. Slowly but surely. And let's see. This, I think, needs to come up a little bit. And yeah, I keep looking back at the camera just to make sure. Sometimes that helps to see the shapes of things when you see them on a smaller screen, to see what you might have to do differently. Alright, so you know what, let me take a break and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Alright, so I'm just going to start. What am I going to start? I think I'm just going to start jumping around and starting to. Right now it's kind of a fuzzy picture, so I think I'm going to start trying to lock it in a little bit more. I might be kind of quiet with my commentary, maybe, because it's always hard for me to talk and draw at the same time. I'm trying to get better at it because I do want to make this a good resource for you guys on this new YouTube channel. So maybe I'll just try and give my thoughts on certain things. You know, I think overall this is going to have to be a lot darker. I think I'm noticing that. But I think that'll all come out here as I go along. I think the drawing will be a lot better if I just kind of focus, let you enjoy the sound of the music, sound of the pencil. Usually the darker you make it, the more it'll really highlight the bright spots, and that's what I think I might end up doing. Going even darker than I think I need to be, just so it'll jump out those highlights. Alright, so the corner of the mouth, I'm going to say, is about here. Usually you make the corner of the mouth a little bit darker. Somewhere in there, maybe. So I'm using sort of harder lines at this point, I think. Normally I don't like to do that, but I don't go too hard because that way I can blend it in. And I think I do have his face a little too wide, so I'm going to start to tighten that up. As we go along here. That definitely doesn't look right, but again, don't get too focused on the little things because it'll all correct itself. See how it's going to be, just making this darker. Look how bright it made that spot right there. I don't know if I'm going to keep it that bright. Knock it down a little bit, but that's sort of what I'm going to have to keep in mind here when I'm shading, is the contrast between the light and the darks. In the future, as I'm doing these videos, I'm also going to do them, well, as I get better and more comfortable on camera, I'm going to do live streams too, so that way you can actually watch as I'm doing it in real time, and we can chat and ask questions and everything else. It'll be pretty fun. So I'm just using my eraser to kind of highlight some things here. Looking back and forth at the picture, seeing what's bright, what's not bright. And just using my kneaded eraser and kind of adding, taking away, you know. One thing I noticed, I think the glasses are a little too, like up in here, they're too round. I don't think they're that round on the real picture, so I'm definitely going to have to correct that. Trying to get the shape of the lips down. Looks like his top lip is a little larger, so I'm trying to keep that in mind. And I'm trying to look at the bottom lip to the chin and compare that to something. It almost looks like the nose to about here is about the length of the bottom lip to the chin. So use my eraser to kind of shape things a little bit. Again, it's still sort of in the blurry stages, but that's okay. Trying to look at the space between the eye and where the glasses go. Looking at this angle right here, seeing what it creates here. How far is this going to go down? Looks like the glasses go down to what? About the halfway point of the nose, which would be about there. See, before I had it right here, and I think that's too low. And then it almost looks like it kind of goes this angle. Up in here. I think that looks about right. What do you think? What do you guys think? And I think as I lock in these glasses a little bit, I think it'll start to lock in the drawing a little bit better as well. So I'm trying to look at the space here between the side of the head, which is right here, and then the space that the glasses leave, and trying to look at that shape, which looks like it'll come like that. Maybe these come out a little bit longer. Something like that, maybe. And then we can always thicken the glasses up and start highlighting some things as we go on. The side of the face. Goes down. Alright, still think I'm making his face look a little bit fuller than it needs to be, but I think that'll be corrected as I work on this other side as well. As I narrow down this side and work on the top, I think it'll elongate things so it'll all even out. Again, not trying to get too focused on any one particular thing at this point. I'm looking at usually below the lip right here, it's pretty dark. So I'm trying to look at the space between here and the bottom lip. Adding that in there. And then all this part is obviously his facial hair will be all in here. Right around the corners of the mouth, it's always a little darker. Let me use the eraser and kind of take out some of the value in here. This is not going to be quite as dark. So I'm going back and forth between my little smudge tool, blending tool. If I think I need to add more charcoal, I'll actually use a pencil. If I don't think I need to use more charcoal, I'll use the blend tool, which has charcoal on it. And yeah. That's sort of the process, huh? This is going to be super white here. There's almost no shading whatsoever. It's that bright. But in order to really make that jump out, I'm probably going to have to make this other side pretty dark. Okay. Maybe perhaps work on the other side a little bit. It's a very thin line here before it comes down to the other side of the glasses. So I want to make sure I get that in there. Right underneath the eye, there's a little light. There's also going to be a little light here. So this is obviously real thick. I need to rework the glasses up here, because this is not that thick. So let's just get rid of it. All right, easy enough. Start locking in the eye a little bit better. I really can't see too much over on this part of the eye. I'm just trying to also look at this white shape here and make sure it's not too big as well. Alright. And the glasses really are right on the edge of this eye. And I'm trying to look at where the glasses come down, how much space is here. If I had to guess, probably about here maybe. So again, for me, it's all about just getting that information down. It's kind of guessing here where the eyeglasses start and all right. And so trying to look at now the space between where the eye is and the glasses are over here. So I'm gonna guess it's about over here maybe. Something like that. All right. Well, it's hard to say, but all I can do is give it my best guess. And then if something doesn't look right and we need to correct it, well, then that's what we'll do. This is all in shadow. This is the dark spot of the, or the dark side of the face here in the shadow. So I gotta keep that in mind. Work on the eyebrow area because there is some space up here from the glasses. The eyebrows are actually up here. See that right up in here. And then it's shadow. All this is in shadow. I am definitely, I think, gotta make his head a little larger though. All right. Well, don't know if that shape, it looks a little long to me. I think this angle might be a little too harsh. And I don't know if it comes out quite as far on this side. I'm telling you, glasses for me are really hard, but that's okay. Guess we'll just leave it at that for right now. Charcoal to really bring it out, but right now I'm just kind of blending it so it doesn't look so pencil-y. All right. Notice how I completely lost where his ear was? I did used to have his ear out there. But I'm trying to look at, everything here. Like, again, trying to feel, does the mouth feel like it's right here? Lots of stuff going through my head. think I'll feel better if I can kind of lock in the overall shape now of his head. So I'm just guesstimating, you know, that the side of his head probably comes here. The glasses probably go this direction, which would put the ear right about in here. Looks like the ear comes down to about where the nose is, right in here. This comes out a little bit here, and then goes up, and then we start to come across. Something up in this direction. So we're going to have a spot for the hair that's up in here. And then there's going to be this shape that looks like it's, I don't know, again, just guessing. Hair up in there. Well, starting to slowly come together. I'm starting to see it. Looking back and forth at the camera as we start adding more value and dark value like I'm doing. It's going to start bringing out all these other little things. All the other little shadings we were doing that just didn't really feel right. It's all going to start to come together. And as I get further on in this drawing. We're going on an hour and a half pretty soon. I don't want it to go too long. I'm debating if I'm just going to have it time lapse the last part. For me, the most important part to show you guys and to show myself when I'm looking back on it is the beginning stages, the stages where you're laying out the drawing. To me, that is the most important part. Getting proportions down, trying to get a likeness down. So if I keep that in real time, which up until now that's what all this has been, it's all been real time. If I can do that and then just do the rest of it, kind of speed it up and time lapse with commentary, let me know if that is a good decision. If you guys think that is helpful. I mean, I don't want to create a 3-hour video here. You know what I mean? It's not going to do anybody any good if it's 3 hours of me shading. At this point, most of the drawing is almost, I mean, the stuff to learn, the hard stuff, is almost done. So I'm just kind of trying to lean back and look. I still think I made him a little bit, his face is a little fuller. I'm not sure exactly where that is. It's on this side maybe. Bring this in a little bit. Could be this a little bit. I think what I'm going to also do is create a, in order to make this side look brighter, I should darken this. I should really darken it up. Make this jump out. So let's, I'm just going to add a darker shade of charcoal on this side. Again, this side's all in shadow. So I'm just laying down some charcoal on this side. Right here is going to be dark. This will make the nose look a little more 3D right here too. The glasses are pretty dark too. I want to make sure those are going to stay dark, but I'm also going to have to keep in mind there's highlights on the glasses. So I don't want to darken everything, just around the sides of it. Right here is pretty dark. But there's also this like shadow. If I use my blending stump, first of all, if I can delete, if I can erase right in here. Make it real bright. And then you could see there's a shadow right on his nose. If I use my blending stump, just kind of do this. These usually make pretty good shadow shapes. Like that. Just a little thing like that. And then just look at the shadows on the nose. This comes out over here. Let me blend in a lot of the stuff that I already did here. Again, I'm just using the side of my blending stump. Soften this all in. I don't mind that I'm getting some of the charcoal all over the face, because I can just pull that out with the eraser again. See, so it's kind of flat right now, but I think we're going to start now that we got that nice tone. I think I can start pulling out some things right in here. Oh yeah, oh yeah, baby. A little bit up in here. Looks like there's a shape that kind of almost connects it. It kind of goes down like this. Tell me if you could see this. See, it almost connects this shape right here. And then it also comes up right across. Right in here. Something like that maybe. Knock it back down just a little bit. And then right underneath the eye, I have another, I have this Mono Zero tiny eraser. Right up in here. It's a little light. Underneath there. See how it's creating like this cool looking light effect? I'm going to use this to kind of make the wide of the eye just a little wider. Sometimes what I do when I'm not sure is I'll pick something like an eye and just try and lock in on it. Try and see if I can just focus on making that stand out. And then if you can lock in on one feature, it kind of makes everything else kind of come together. Come together! Alright, that's my Beatles reference. Alright, so let's focus on this eye a little bit. Can't really see on this part of the eye, so I'm not going to try and put too much in it. But now this is where I'm looking to make things I'm trying to lock in things. I'm trying to look at closer details. You know, like this is going to be darker on here. This part of the eye is going to be darker. So I'm smudging that in. See, this shadow's right here. Making sure that's it. But that shadow right here is not as dark as the glasses. So I got to make sure the glasses are darker than that. That way we know that that shadow is not part of the glasses. This comes up here. Can't lose this shape. I know it's going to be lighter on this part of the glasses on the very top rim, and it's going to be lighter on the inside, so I'm not going to use the pencil on that top part right here. I'm just going to do the bottom part. And that'll make the top part start to stand out. Okay, so in order to make that shadow on the nose stand out more, I'm just going to kind of try and erase this side of it. Like that. So this other eye, I'm going to have to fix this. I'm using a 2B now, a 2B charcoal pencil. It's a little harder. I usually do that when I need to get more details down. Sorry I'm so quiet right now, but I'm trying to focus. Not as easy as it seems. So I'm using this number 2 to just slightly add some shadow here. It's going to be slightly darker here too. Maybe I'll use my blending stump. Just kind of smudge this in. And then I'll use my eraser. Maybe I'll try the mono zero eraser right here. Right. So again, I'm going to darken some of the glasses where I know it's dark. On this side. And I also want to be mindful of the shadows. There's a cool shadow. It's from this part, and then it comes down. It comes out right here, and then goes down, and kind of blends into this part of the nose. So I gotta push that out a little bit. Okay. See how the pulling out the, just because I made it so dark, now just the eraser's really starting to take out. Like, look at how it's gonna make these lips pop. And it's gonna put the shadow. It's gonna make the shadows look darker. It's gonna make the lights look lighter. Oh, there goes my phone. All right. This is all gonna be, I wanna make sure the far side of the face is completely, it's got this nice white tone to it. And it looks like we're wrapping up this part of the hour. I'm not sure how much more I'm going to do of talking, or if I'm just going to time-lapse it. This is all an experiment, basically. So let me know what you guys think and what format you think works best. If I start time-lapsing it, I'll make the decision when I edit it. But we're definitely going to sit here together and finish this, so don't go anywhere. Oh yeah, look at that. Like it. Alright. Quick break, we'll be right back. And we're back. Okay, so I'm going to start adding in some of the rest of the picture, and I think it's going to kind of lock this all together. But before I do, there was some other things I had seen that I'm not sure about. Like, I think I need to kind of bring this part of the face in a little bit. Just a little bit, not so round. And I want to say we had a little darker shape underneath this part of the chin. Something like this in here. And we're probably going to have to smooth it out a little bit. Let me lighten this up here. Lighten this up here. This is hitting a lot of the light. Kind of smooth out this transition for the brow. Not be so harsh. I'm just softening this all up in here. Okay, and all this can be as wide as we want because it's facing so much light. Okay. Alright, I think it's starting to look good, guys. I think it's starting to look pretty good. Let me do this. So I'm going to take my 4B pencil and I'm just going to look at where the shirt starts. It looks like it starts about kind of where I had it, at this angle from the lips. So maybe right in here. And you kind of look at the angle where it comes down. This part doesn't have to be exact because it's not really the focal point of the picture. So I'm just going to kind of follow with what I already had here. Back it up a little bit on the camera. Oop, whoop. There we go. And then it looks like on the other side, probably somewhere up over here, it's gonna come down. And there's not a whole lot of detail in here, so I'm just gonna shade it all in actually. But I do want to, I don't know. Let's see, we got to get the neck in here. Can't forget that. So it looks like the neck kind of comes down here. Look at the angle of where the shirt goes. So it kind of does this, and then the shirt comes down from right here on the chin and circles up here. All right, so that at least gives me an idea. And then I'm just gonna probably use some of my soft compressed charcoal and just shade this all in. Gotta be careful, I don't want to get the face. But this should help the face kind of pop out because it's so dark. Not really sure exactly how this part's going to turn out, but a lot of times when it comes to art, it's your own interpretation and taking these risks. So that's the shirt, and then I'm also in a minute I think I'm gonna kind of shade up in here too. I'm not sure yet. Not sure how that's gonna go. I'm gonna try a paper towel and see what this looks like, smoothing it out. This is kind of creating a smooth texture. I think I'll just bring it into the neck area here. Give it a little skin tone. All right, so that's something down here. Now, let me take my 4B and let's start adding some more value for the facial hair. See, making this stand out is actually creating that separation between the chin and the neck. It goes up. And sharpen my pencil. Blend this in a little bit. And the neck also, actually, you know what I want to do is create a hard line between the shirt and the neck, so we really have a clear separation. All right. Now underneath the neck there is a shadow, kind of comes out this way. You could see that it's going to be darker, so let me just shade that in. This is going to be darker than the face, but not as dark as the shirt. So I'm just going to lay some charcoal down right in here. And then I'm going to take my blending stump blend this all in. So we can start giving it the illusion of a shadow. And see how that's going to start bringing the chin out. Let's reinforce the dark facial hair to further give it separation and separate this color from the lighter color of the face. So I think that's looking mighty nice. Now watch this. We're going to create that light spot right underneath the chin, right in here, just by erasing this part here. All right. Now, I think we need to work on the hair a little bit. So back to my charcoal pencil. Just going to start making this a little bit darker. Looking at the dark spots. It's going to be dark up in here. Dark up in here. This side of the hair. There's dark shape on this side. And then there's just the occasional hair like this. All right. And then this part that's coming out is darker underneath, so I'm going to just darken this part. And I'm still not sure how I'm going to draw this next part. I'm thinking that I need to have some sort of tone up in here. I wonder if I can just use this piece of tissue. Let me just see something. Oh, that might work. That might work. This is just a tissue that I use to smear his shirt. But I'm trying to create make his head stand out even more. So if I create a dark background, let's see, especially this side I feel should be darker. Hopefully this isn't gonna create a problem, but if it does, hey, you're at least seeing my decision making in real time here. This side will be a little bit lighter because it's more in shadow. I don't know how much I'm going to do with that. This side, though, I do want it a little darker. And then I'm going to use this tissue. Trying to be careful that I don't smear into the picture. And again, I'm just using some tissue that's folded up. There we go. And also what I'm doing here, I want to get it up into the hair so I can really bring out some of the highlights. Which you'll see what I mean in a second. See how I didn't make this side quite as bright? Because this side's in the shadow. So I don't want this to be as dark, but I want the highlights on his face to really shine. See how it makes it look even brighter on this side? Alright, so now I feel like I got something to work with. Okay. So this is now where we start adding some of the finishing touches. So the back part of his head over here is a little bit darker. Right along this edge. Again, the hair up here, since I rubbed that all out, let's reestablish that. Put that shape back in here. Let me blend in the hair a little bit. And I'm trying to look at, even with the hair, there's, you know, there's dark spots and light spots. See, this is darker right up here. So I really want to get that in there. And then I'll stump it in. And then this part up here is all going to be highlighted. So now, let me zoom in on the head a little bit. And let me see if I can pull out some highlights if possible. I'm using an eraser to get some of these highlights out. This is just a hard rubber eraser. Now let me see if this is what I wanted to do right here. Let's see if I can really get this to read like it is in the picture. Alright, not too bad. I think I can go a little bit better though. So let me kind of create it again. Okay. So I guess it's trying to convince your eye that this is hair up here that's highlighted. Let's pull back and see what that looks like. Add some more strands, maybe on this side. Alright, I guess that's okay. Kind of hard to tell. Alright, so I want to add a little bit of definition into the shirt, and this just gives it some texture. Usually if you just add a few... Oop, you're not even on camera. You dummy. Alright. You can kind of see what I'm doing with the shirt. I'm just adding some darker spots. Not so uniform. Over here I'm going to make it darker because this is the shadow side. And then sometimes I'll take an eraser and just slowly do a little, just take a little bit away on either side of those lines, and that'll create folds in the shirt. So you can see it kind of looks like the shirt has some texture to it. See that? Maybe a little bit over in here, going this way. Maybe some over here. All right. I guess I got to work on the ear. I kind of forgot about that, didn't I? All right, so let's get that ear down. A little dark over in here. I'm not the greatest ear drawer by any means. So I just kind of draw the dark spots. Smudge them kind of into the area. And then I'll use my eraser to kind of bring out the parts that are towards the light. So this part of the ear, maybe along the edge a little bit. This part and here, a little bit over here. I think that's looking okay. Not the greatest, not the worst deer I've ever drawn. Oh, so I need to get the glasses. We need to try and get the highlights on the glasses a little bit. Oop. Let's see if I can do it with this pencil, this eraser right here. I don't know if I like that eraser so much. Let me try the kneaded eraser. Just try and get the edge it's kind of hard to get the little tiny edges, but you know, I have a white charcoal pencil. I wonder if that'll do it. Let me see. Oh, you know what? That might do it, huh? Just draw these little indications of the glasses with the reflective light. And then over on this side, I don't know if I like that. Let me try the eraser. Okay, so if I darken this area, I'm trying to make it read how the glasses are refracting the skin. See, I need to pull this out right here. This has to come out. See, I want to show the contrast between this part of the face and that it goes in behind the glasses. See how it goes in right there? And then this comes back out. Right here. Just like that. Okay, and at this stage I like to use the 2B pencil because I can get a little more detail, and that's when I can start doing like little eyebrow hairs. Just little. Same with over here. Looks darker. Right in here. This is the part where it's also a lot like, you feel like you're sculpting. You kind of know the form, and so you kind of sculpting out the details. So since the rest of this is so like small and minute, I'm just going to go ahead and do a time lapse from here on out. So just watch the rest of this and hopefully we'll just do these little final touches on it.